Hey, what's up everybody? MichaelTheArch here. Today I am going to show you my in-game build that I'm working on right now. There is one more powerful than this if you go into shadow damage with it, but it really seems to help quite a bit if you are trying to get into the pit and just start into it. This is pretty easy to put together, and I'm just going to go over it right quick. So let's go into our skill tree. Start there. You want to go from level 1 to 50 first with something like a Shadow Blight minion build, which is great. But 1 into Hemorrhage, Enhanced Hemorrhage, and I go into Initiate's Hemorrhage for extra survivability. You can go into Alkalite to get extra attack speed, and that is absolutely great too. Going down, I just go 3 into Hued Flesh. Over here, 3 into Spiked Armor, 3 into Skeletal Warrior Mastery, 1 into Grim Harvest, and 3 into Field Death. Unfortunately, we don't have enough places on our bar, so we don't get to take this. Going down, you want to put at least 1 into Decrepify, Enhanced, and then Abhorrent, and then 3 into Amplify damage, 3 into Death's Embrace, 3 into Skeletal Mage Mastery, and 3 into Death's Approach. I have this from an item with +2 to Curses. So, I have also got 3 into Decrepify. You can put those other 2 points elsewhere if you want to, but that's going to give me more damage reduction. So 1 into Corpse Tendril, Enhanced, and then I go with Plagued Corpse Tendril so that it will make them vulnerable. You can go, if you're having cooldown issues or health issues, you can go with Blighted, but I really feel that Plagued is much better. You want to go 3 into Necrotic Carapace, and then go on down here. You want 3 into Golem Mastery. I went ahead and put 3 into all of these, and I went with Bonestorm, Prime, and Supreme Bonestorm, and then Kalen's Edict. You don't want Shadow Blight because you're only going to have 1 skill throughout all of this, I think, that's actually Darkness, and it's Bonestorm itself due to one of the things that we're doing to get a little extra damage. So you don't even have to have that on with this build. So when you go in, basically, if you don't have that aspect, you're not going to have any darkness at all. So this is not going to do you any good at all. So just, if you look there, it says, current bonus 0. I don't know if that would show more or not, but anyway, I'm just going to show you my Paragon board, and I am not optimized by any means, but the starter board, I have Amplify. You need to try to max these out as at least to 15 and then go on up to 21 as fast as you can on these particular ones that you're using. So I got Amplify in that. Going up, we go to Cult Leader, and I have Corporeal in that. That's what it looks like. Going over, I want to say you want to get as much max health as you can. You want to get resistance to elements as well, so that you're not having to put that on your gear. And you also want to get armor, so you're not having to put all of that on your gear. So it's, in my opinion, it's very important to have that. Now, going over here, we are doing Hulking Monstrosity, and we have Mage in it. I know that Mage and Warrior are not the best glyphs out there, but for me, I wanted a pure damage or a pure minion build, and this is going to give me the best chance of having that, and it's going to do more damage with them, and it does work. So not as good as I would hope, but it does work. So now I know there is, I believe it's the Shadow board. You can actually put the Golem in that, and you can get a total of like 200%, and it very well may be worth doing that. If I go back and optimize this and I change it up, then I will let y'all know though. But again, hulking monstrosity and mage in that. I'm going up here. Now, I would change this to where go to the one that's below Sin of Death, this one, and put it here. And I would pick up this right here on my way. So grab that, and then come over here, grab that, and from there, go across this way. And you want to grab that and go down here. You don't have to even have this one, but I went on and grabbed it because of the it's getting all of the damage reduction and damage to injured enemies and stuff like that. But golem damage, that was the only way to get to that specific point. So that node gives me 26%, 27% golem damage at this point, basically. So that one as well. And then go out this way, and if it's up here, then you'll still go out that way. It's the shorter way. But when you go out, all you want to do is go into Flesh Eater, and I have put in Warrior in this one, again, because it's my minions and stuff. You could go down here for the resistance to all instead of damage to elites, and it would work just fine. Really, it depends on what you want to do. I had went into color, but it honestly does not work very good for me at all. You could go in here. If you have the extra, what you could do, you could turn it here and pop into that, come down here, grab that, and go in that way. You could potentially just put this on the side, go directly up here, grab that, and then around there and grab that if you want to. You don't have to have Flesh Eater. It does give you a decent boost if you've consumed 5 corpses, but you're not going to consume that many corpses all the time, and you're not capable of doing that with this build. So unless you had some sort of aura where you were automatically doing it, it's not going to help you out. So let's look at the gear right quick and skill bar. First, let's look at skill bar. We've got Bonestorm, Hemorrhage, Decrepify, Corpse Tendril, Raise Skeleton, and Golem. And those are the only skills I do have Iron Maiden from an item, but those are the only skills that I actually have. So they are they are great to get this done. Let me get that. Okay, I don't know if I showed it or not, but for skeletal warriors, you want to form a corpse, have a 15% chance to form a corpse, and you want that. So Reaper number 2. Skeletal mages go for Shadow number 1, and you're going to do 3% increased active damage for each active Shadow Mage. You want to make sure you keep them up all the time. So for Golem, go to Blood number 2, and then let's look at our gear, and I'll explain that. You can see I don't have nearly enough life, but what this is going to do is allow you to masterwork your stuff and get it upgraded, and then you can go to another build that you've already got the masterworks for, or you just work on getting your gear, and then this will help you to masterwork it. Basically, I'm not saying this is the end all be all. I don't know how far I could push this, but I can do a 100 nightmare dungeon and like a 65 of the pit. So anyway, I've got hulking aspect on a headpiece, and you want to try on everything. You want to have, if you can get it, intelligence or max life. Max life is actually better than intelligence as the starred one, the greater affix. So I rolled +2 to curse skills after spending millions trying to fix this, and I'd really want +3 to crepify, but +2 to curse skills is the closest thing I could get to it. I rolled curse duration and total armor. I really needed that total armor at the time, so it really helped me out there. Archon armor of hardened bones. So the hardened bones aspect on my chest piece, again, max life, and I've got intelligence. I rolled armor on this because I was trying to get to the armor cap that I needed. I could probably take that armor off now, and it would be almost about the right thing. So if I upgrade this at, whenever I do upgrade it, I need to make sure that I have enough armor on my gear. So again, you can fix that with the Paragon board. I just didn't go into armor and stuff this time very much. With the hands, I've got reanimation on them, and it's got intelligence, max life, critical strike damage. You could go, definitely, if you can get plus to skills or Hellbent Commander, if you want plus to Golem, Golem Mastery, you want plus to Hellbent Commander at all if you can get it. Plus to Skeletal Mages, if you get plus to Skeletal Warrior Mastery, that's fine too. So Golem is the one that you should go for on all of these, though, because that's going to do your most damage. So I rolled damage to cursed enemies. Major difference because of that. Plus Decrepify size. You want to try to get Decrepify to be 100% bigger. So you want to try to get 2 Decrepify sizes if you can. With this one, I actually have extra max life on it. With this, I was using the Moon Bottoms or whatever it was called. It's really good for this, but going back into it, it was not nearly as good as this one here. So I have got Shielding Storm on this. Absolutely necessary for this build to have Shielding Storm. And the better, the more maxed out this aspect is, the better. So if you can get the 6%, you're good. And you get it going, you're pretty much going to be fine. But intelligence max life, I've got +3 to hemorrhage, which actually does really help a lot. Crepify size and chance, absolutely need this on one piece of gear. Chance for hemorrhage to form blood orbs. You absolutely need that. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. I actually sat down to make this video, but right before I was watching a video, and I was planning my video out, and somebody else put out a video. I don't know if they saw my stream of me doing this or what, but somebody else puts out a video of a different version, basically, of my build doing the same thing. So I was first, just letting y'all know. I need to favorite that. And then this one, we've got movement speed. Absolutely need movement speed on your boat, aren't you? It's on your boots. You want max life. I've got Skeletal Warrior Mastery. I would prefer to have something else, but that's just what I could get. Thorns and movement speed is what I got on this. Unfortunately, Thorns is about the best thing that you can get on this for that class or that section of the Temper. I am using a sword and a focus for this. The sword is giving me crit strike damage, and despite what people say about using a sword versus a scythe, that's for two-handers. This is single hand, so the sword is going to be just fine. And in my opinion, if you need the life per hit or whatever, that's fine. But this is going to give you more damage overall. So on the sword, I've got intelligence. I've got plus damage. I do have max life, which I rolled on here, but you could take that max life and actually roll that to something else, more damage if you wanted to. I've got minion attack speed and skeletal mage damage on this. This one, Bonestorm, is going to increase the 12 up to 12.5 seconds in length by consuming up to 8 corpses. So you want to have corpses around, but it will, I've noticed it does every now and then pick up a corpse after you've already started it. So I don't know if it's supposed to only do it when you start or what, but it will within like the first, I'll say the first 10 seconds of it, it will pick up some more. And let's see, in all of these, I've got rubies for health. You can put one of them, while you're leveling up and stuff, you can put topaz in these as you're getting the better rubies, and then slowly replace the topaz with the rubies, and you'll do really good that way. So I'm going to go to the offhand while I'm down here. So with this one, I am going with the focus because it gives me cooldown reduction. And then this one had a greater cooldown reduction on it, and it had intelligence, so that made it my automatic one right there. I've got the ultimate shadow aspect on it, and that is Bonestorm and Bloodwave are now darkness skills as well, and they gain the additional effect of Bonestorm is going to take 6,917 shadow damage. It's going to deal that over 2 seconds, so it's really good. I'm not using Bloodwave, so I'm not going to worry about that. I do have minion attack speed and golem damage. Now, in both of these, I tried ultimate damage. It does not work very good, so I went with critical strike damage, and it works really good. So, going up here, you want Occult Dominion on your amulet, because it's, instead of giving you 2 warriors and mages, it's going to give you 3, and that's absolutely imperative that you do that. So somewhere in all of your stuff, you're going, now this is hard to explain. I need to go over here and show you. In your resistances, you want these to be green and say 70. So you want a 925 amulet, and you want cooldown reduction on that amulet. You can get it, and you want attack speed on that. Now, if you have a resistance on it, that's fine. You can re-roll that later, hopefully. But I have got golem cooldown and golem damage on this. But the reason you want a 925 is because you want 25% resistance to all elements. You absolutely want your rings and your amulet at 925. So, if you go on down here, first off, I've got, like I said, Occult Dominion on that, and you absolutely want attack speed and cooldown if you can get that anywhere on this. So, going on down to the first ring, I looked up and got a 2-star one, and I've got intelligence and max life on it, which is great. But what you want to pay attention to is up top it says 10% resistance to all elements. That's why you want the 925s. I also have vulnerable damage, so with my enemies being vulnerable after this thing here, Corpse Tendril, this is going to do more damage to them. So you really would like to have more vulnerable damage throughout here if you could get it. Just straight damage is great, but if you should have crit strike and vulnerable damage both. It just seems to work better with a little bit more crit and then the vulnerable. So, you know, like half to, I'll say a fourth to a third of your crit strike. It seems like it kind of evens out and things seem to play better that way. I don't know why, but on the ring, Golem cooldown and skeletal mage damage. Now, this ring is not a good example of it, but with this, that cold resistance does not have to be there, and you can re-roll that out if you want to later on. But what you need to do is, this one has, you want attack speed and intelligence on this one at least, and in your third, you want another plus 10 to resistance, to all resistance. What that'll allow you to do is to make 3 of the diamonds and put them in here instead of the individual ones. And that's going to allow you to have 1 extra affix on this here on your amulet that will, or on whatever you're getting resistance from. It's going to allow you to have that. And with your Paragon board and that, you're going to do a lot better and have full resistances. I've tested it and it does work with the 3 diamonds, the max size diamonds, and having just an extra 10% on here as long as your board is set up right. So it definitely, if your board's not quite right, you'll have like 69.7% or 69.5%, something like that. But if you get it right on your board, then it's going to work much better on here. Plus, once you masterwork this, that 10% on the ring is going to go up as well. So that is the optimal thing for that. All right, I've been talking too much. Let's go in here and I'll show you how I do stuff. So number 1, we got a training dummy, and I am going to first pop Bonestorm as soon as I can. So first I'm going to curse, pop Bonestorm, and then I'm going to come over here and I am going to hold down Hemorrhage. And you can see the health bar. Like I was saying, the health is going up. It's got barrier on it. It's got fortify on it. And that's what you want. It's going to, all right, let's do this again. It's because I've got that. And also, if you look, my cooldown for that's going massively fast. Boom, cooldown gone because I've got those. I can then pop that again. Now, but here's what you want to do. Crepify. Bonestorm if you haven't. Go with your raised skeleton and corpse tendril. And when it says vulnerable, you want to hit the golem. So now I put out a video as well showing you how to do this, but make sure you go into your options, go to sounds all the way down and turn other player audio on air or off, and then look at how I'm doing it. I'm just tapping them, and this is going to ensure that I have as much going on as I can. I can even hold that, but I have to make sure I watch that. Now, if I just do that there and I don't tap curse every time. So technically, if I went in here and I'd done it this way to where curse was here, then what this is going to do, Bonestorm, once curse is gone, reapply it. Curse is gone, reapply it. On controller, I have mine set up to how it would be on PlayStation, so that's why I do it that way. Now, this is not a good, accurate representation, but I can go and do a Duriel and show you how it will work. All right, here we are at Duriel. Now, if you come in, you can go on and have Bonestorm going. You can have your resistances and everything already up, your Fortify up, so you might want to do that, but we're going to do an Echo, which is a level 100. Just going to summon him, and I'm going to quickly do this. I'm going to run up here. You might have to take a thing to start with. And I have done it a lot faster. I have also had the Fortify completely up and stuff. So that's all you got to do. And it's extremely easy to do. Let's see if we got anything good. Doubt it, but... Oh! Now, if I could put some cooldown on that, I would like that. I might give that to my Barbarian, or... Well, I might give it to my, my Mage. I got an Azurath. Yeah, there we go. All right, now that's the build, but if you want to see how it does in the pit, I will run a pit, whatever the first level of that one is, just to show you that it will work, and then I will also show you running like a level 100 Nightmare Dungeon. All right, so if you want to stick around and see how it works, this video is going to be pretty long, but this is, if you look up here, it says it's a level 100, tier 100. Let's go ahead and go in here. And okay, there we go. Now, I will say you have to be very careful with this, but I just want to show that you can do this to get your stuff going. You definitely want to go ahead and anytime you can do this. Now, we're going for Animus carriers. You want to watch for stuff like that on the ground and stay away from it. Anytime you get the chance, so you make sure that you stand outside of that stuff. I'm honestly scared to even step in it while it's doing that, so we went with that. Let's go up here. You definitely want to hear that blood orb thing popping out, or whatever it's called, hemorrhage. Being able to tap those buttons without them fussing is absolutely imperative. Anytime you do get hit by something, make sure that you're ready to pop that, though. Pop a potion. Now, I'm holding a button to make me stand still to do that. But you see, after a few times, absolutely, the golem will just slay him just suddenly. I can walk through that one all right. If it's a fire, and I don't know what's going on with it, but if it's a fire, you will end up... By the way, I'm not using holy bolts or anything like that. Add holy bolts. Add holy bolts. Trust me. Add it when while you got access to it for the pit. Don't do it on these. Use something like attack speed on these, or extra health or something if you want. You do want to stay out of the way if you can. And any of that. Now you see how my health done right there. So you got to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and pop that. We're good. I don't know what we got to do. Probably kill everything. This is probably the best one I could have showed you, because these are the kind that will kill you more than any of the other stuff. Especially when they get to doing that crap, that's when you want to get out of there. You got to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. So destroy the eyes or whatever it is. All right. This event might be a little difficult here. You want to let your minions do the work for you. So you can see I did do it though. Another double star amulet. Malfunction! Malfunction! I wanted to show you against a boss, but I mean, we'll have a boss on the other things, so. Now, I think it said, it didn't say level 100 enemies, but they're level 154. So there we go. So you can see how it works. Now I will go ahead and glyph out. And by the way, if you right click on it, you don't have to click this allocate. You can also tap the triangle button on the PlayStation controller, and I think it's Y on Xbox, on the glyph, and you don't have to wait for it to do its animation. Pro tip. So let's check that out. Oh, what is imperfectly balanced? I don't know. Maximum life, that's good though. I'll check it out in a minute, but we're going to go do a pit. All right, over here at the pit, we are going to do a 61. So I've done a 62, I guess. We're going to do a 61 because that's the last piece of gear that you can get. I'm going to go ahead and go into open, and when you go into there, it pops that up automatically. Just so you see, it pops that up, and the reason for that is you can go ahead and pop one of these. What I would suggest doing is popping a Spiral Morning and a Holy Bolts if you have them. Also, the Elixir of Momentum is absolutely great if you're on the lower levels or if you're still leveling. Holy Bolt, I would save specifically for this, though, as it's going to help your clear time. If you're struggling, then use it. But we're going to do this, and I think this is Neothyron is what it's called. I'm not sure, but it's either Neath Iron or Neothyron. So now I don't have any kind of buffs, nobody with incense around me or anything, so it's very hard to make a video during the evening because people have buffed with incense around you so much. I'll say I probably started the trend because I used to buff everybody every time I've done a world boss or a legion. All right. So I want to be fast but careful. I want to make sure that I get everything cleared. Frozen, not good. I do want to make sure that I am buffing my skellies as well. So you just got to be careful and run around and figure out how you're doing it. I'm going to go this way because there's a vulnerable statue over there and I don't want no part of that. I can literally stand in the electricity and it does nothing to me. But you see, you want to stay close to them. And you would rather have big groups. I should have enough. Be aware that these are not infinite levels, and you can run out of enemies. I sometimes actually purposely jump into the middle of them. Get a channeling shrine since it's in here. You see, with a hemorrhage, I'm able to keep that going really nicely. All I'm doing is I'm putting my left finger down on one, and then I'm tapping 3, 2, and 1, or 2, 3, and 4, and it's good to go. And I'm holding. If you want to be more selective about it and precise, you really can do it easily. Guess I need to go this way. You want to actually let Bonestorm run out just before, or let it run out, because if you don't, let Bonestorm run out, you'll end up it terminating early for some reason. I don't know why. All right. Now you do have to be careful. They can kill you. They can easily kill you. You just gotta... There you go. So the build works. It does what you need it to do. I'm getting Stygian stones and all kind of stuff once I get to this level. So if you need to farm and you can't farm, here you go. I hope this has helped. And I'll show you one more quick tip about farming this stuff. Once you get the ability to come up here and farm, some of it is easier to go back and do the lower levels, if that's specifically what you're looking for. But for each tier of item that you're doing,
I can cure what
you can come over here to the alchemist, go to transmutation, crafting materials, and say I want these glyphs. I have the neothyron I have 90 of right now, but say I wanted that, you can put in how much you want there, and for $54,000 and all of my Neothyron, I could get 270 of those, and that actually would be really good, and it would really help. So you can see with right now the Ingolith, I only have 32 of them. So just say to do one of these at the levels that I'm at is like 80 or something, or 40 or 80. Let's go over here, and for a level 6 upgrade, you need 32, or you need 40. For a level 7 upgrade, you need 80. For a level 8 upgrade, you actually need 120. So it might take a little bit longer to run through and do the larger ones, and if you've got the extra money though, you can go ahead and actually transmute them into these others easily. Like I said, I would get 270 of the Ingolith. This is really weird. This should have this picture up here, and then I don't know, it's weird, it's confusing, but you're putting in the amount of this down here, and then you'll be getting whatever's up here. So that is a very long video explanation. I will be doing my General of Darkness Blight Commander video, but it will be more theoretical, and I'll just explain it to you. But for now, that is all, and I will see y'all next time.